Have you ever been told you're not good enough, only to feel a fire ignite inside you, whispering that you'll prove them wrong? That's where my story begins, in a moment of humiliation that changed everything. My name is Emma Larson, and this is the story of how I turned my boss's cruel words into the spark that built an empire. But before I dive in, I need to know, where are you listening from? Drop a comment below and tell me if you've ever been doubted, because this story might hit close to home. And if it does, hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow, I've got something extra special waiting for you. Picture this, a towering glass office in downtown Seattle, its sleek walls reflecting the city's neon glow. The air hums with the clatter of keyboards, the faint buzz of fluorescent lights, and the sharp scent of coffee that's gone cold on every desk. This is Apex Innovations, a tech marketing firm where ideas are currency, and I'm a 28-year-old dreamer trying to make my mark. My desk is tucked in a corner, cluttered with sticky notes and a laptop covered in colorful stickers, little bursts of creativity in a sea of gray suits. I'm wearing my favorite navy blazer, my hair pulled into a high ponytail, and I'm clutching a stack of papers, my heart racing with anticipation. Today's the day I pitch my big idea, the one I've spent weeks perfecting. The meeting room is a sterile box of glass and steel, the kind that makes you feel small under its cold glare. My team sits around a long table, their faces a mix of boredom and ambition. At the head is Vanessa, our marketing director. She's 45, with platinum blonde hair pinned so tightly it looks like it's holding her together. Her red lipstick is a slash of authority, and her eyes, sharp, unyielding, scan the room like a predator. I've always felt her gaze linger on me a little too long, as if she's measuring me and finding me wanting. But today, I'm ready. My pitch is for TechTrend, our biggest client, a campaign that could redefine their brand and maybe my career. I stand, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. I've designed a campaign that blends immersive storytelling with augmented reality, I begin, pointing to my slides. It's bold, it's innovative, and it'll make TechTrend the talk of the industry. I'm halfway through explaining the interactive app when Vanessa raises a hand, her manicured nails glinting under the lights. The room falls silent, and my heart sinks. "Emma," she says, her voice smooth as ice, "your ideas are childish. This is TechTrend, not a high school art project. You're not ready for this, not even close." Her words land like a slap, and I feel the heat rush to my cheeks. The team shifts uncomfortably, their eyes darting away, but I catch a few smirks. Vanessa leans back, folding her arms, her lips curling into a faint, triumphant smile. "Maybe stick to the smaller tasks, Leave the big ideas to those with the experience." Childish, not ready. The words echo in my head, each one a needle pricking at the confidence I'd built. I want to argue, to tell her she's wrong, but my throat tightens and all I can do is nod. "Of course, Vanessa," I mumble, sinking back into my chair. The meeting moves on, but I'm barely listening. My hands tremble as I clutch my notebook, the edges of my vision blurring. I feel exposed, like a spotlight's burning through me, revealing every doubt I've ever had. Back at my desk, I stare out the window, where Seattle's rain streaks down the glass like tears I refuse to shed. The city is a blur of gray and neon, its pulse thrumming through the mist. The air smells faintly of damp paper and the metallic tang of the office's air conditioning. I press my fingers against the cool glass, grounding myself as Vanessa's voice replays in my mind. Childish. Not ready. Was she right? Had I been fooling myself thinking I could play in the big leagues? My reflection stares back, pale and uncertain. But there's something else there, a flicker of defiance, a spark I can't ignore. I think back to the nights I spent sketching campaigns, the hours I poured into learning code, the dreams I've carried since I was a kid, doodling ideas in a notebook. I've always believed I could be more than what people see, a young woman with too many stickers and too much ambition. But Vanessa's words are a weight, pressing down until I can barely breathe. Yet, as the rain drums against the window, I feel something shift inside me. It's not just hurt, it's anger, quiet but fierce, like a storm gathering strength. I don't want to prove Vanessa right. I want to prove her wrong. The rain didn't stop that night, and neither did I. After Vanessa's words cut me down in that glass meeting room, I couldn't shake the weight of her judgment. Childish, not ready. They looped in my mind like a cruel song, each note sinking deeper into my chest. But something else was stirring, a quiet rebellion, a refusal to let her define me. I didn't know where it would lead, but I knew I couldn't stay still. Not anymore. Picture the Konomi restaurant, a glittering jewel in Seattle's nightlife. Its sleek black walls are lined with bamboo, and the air carries the warm, savory scent of miso and grilled fish. The chandeliers cast golden flecks across the room, catching on the polished glasses and the tailored suits of Apex's elite. I'm there, a week after the meeting, dressed in a simple black dress, my fingers nervously tracing the rim of a wine glass. It's a company dinner, a chance to impress Tech Trend's executives, and I'm determined to redeem myself. I've prepared notes, ideas to slip into the conversation, hoping to show I'm more than Vanessa's childish assistant. The Tech Trend reps are all smiles, their voices loud with confidence as they toast to future deals. Vanessa is in her element, her red lipstick a stark contrast to her ivory silk blouse, her laughter sharp and calculated. She's the queen of this room, and she knows it. I'm seated at the edge of the table, trying to blend in, when she turns her gaze on me. "Emma," she says, her voice loud enough to draw every eye. "You've been so helpful with the filing lately. Truly a great assistant. But let's not bore our guests with your creative ideas. Stick to what you're good at." The table erupts in laughter, the kind that feels like a punch to the gut. The Tech Trend execs chuckle, their eyes sliding over me like I'm invisible. My cheeks burn, and my grip on the wine glass tightens until my knuckles whiten. I force a smile, the kind that hurts to hold, and nod. "Of course, Vanessa," I say, my voice barely above a whisper. Inside, I'm screaming. I want to stand, to tell them about the campaign I designed, to prove I'm not just an assistant. But the words stick in my throat, and all I can do is sit there, the taste of humiliation bitter on my tongue. That night, I walk back to my apartment through Seattle's drizzle, the city's neon lights smearing into a kaleidoscope of blues and pinks. My dress clings to my skin, damp and cold, and my heels click against the wet pavement, each step echoing the anger pulsing in my veins. My apartment is a small, cluttered sanctuary on the 5th floor, its walls papered with sketches and mood boards from half-finished projects. The air smells of lavender candles and leftover takeout, a faint comfort against the storm inside me. I kick off my shoes, the carpet soft under my feet, and collapse onto the couch, my laptop glowing like a beacon in the dark. I stare at the screen, my fingers hovering over the keys. Vanessa's voice is still there, mocking me, but it's joined by another, my own, soft but insistent. "You're more than this. You've always been more." I open a browser, my hands moving almost on their own, and start searching. How to start a marketing agency. Entrepreneurship for beginners. Building a brand from scratch. The words blur together, but each one feels like a lifeline. I grab a notebook, its pages already crowded with ideas, and start sketching. A name comes to me, Spark Vibe. It's bold, alive, everything Vanessa said I wasn't. The clock ticks past midnight, then 1, then 2. My coffee mug sits cold on the table, surrounded by crumpled sticky notes and half-written plans. The rain taps against my window, a steady rhythm that matches the beat of my heart. I'm not just planning a business. I'm planning a rebellion. Every word I write, every idea I scribble, is a defiance of Vanessa's verdict. I think back to the Konomi dinner, to the laughter that stung like a lash. I don't want to fight Vanessa with words or tears. I want to build something so undeniable she'll have no choice but to see me. Every night, as Seattle drowned in its endless rain, I built something Vanessa could never take away. Her words, childish, not ready, still stung, but they were no longer chains. They were fuel. In the dim glow of my apartment, I'd planted the seed of Spark Vibe, my rebellion against her verdict. But dreaming was one thing, making it real was another. I was stepping into a battlefield, and I had to arm myself with more than just anger. Picture Pike Place Market on a crisp Seattle morning, the air thick with the rich, nutty scent of roasted coffee and the briny tang of the nearby waterfront. The cafe I've claimed as my second home is a cozy nook, its wooden tables scarred with years of stories. Sunlight streams through tall windows, painting golden patches on my laptop screen, where lines of code and campaign sketches come to life. My navy blazer is slung over a chair, and I'm in a soft gray sweater, my hair loose and slightly messy from hours of focus. A half-empty latte sits beside me, its foam long gone, and my notebook is open to a page crowded with ideas, a blueprint for Spark Vibe. I'm not just working, I'm learning to breathe again. Every online course I take, every marketing podcast I devour, feels like a brick in the foundation of my dream. I'm studying branding, SEO, even basic coding, my fingers flying across the keys as I build a mock campaign for a fake client. It's the same idea Vanessa shot down, the one she called childish. But I'm reshaping it, making it sharper, bolder. The cafe hums around me, a symphony of clinking mugs and murmured conversations, and I feel alive in a way I haven't in months. The wooden table under my hands is warm, grounding, and the sunlight on my face is a quiet promise. You can do this. But Vanessa isn't done with me. Back at Apex, her shadow looms larger than ever. She's noticed my late nights, the way my eyes linger on my phone during breaks, and she's decided to tighten the screws. Picture the office again, that sterile cage of glass and neon. I'm at my desk, sorting through a stack of pointless reports Vanessa dumped on me, busy work designed to keep me small. The air smells of toner and stale ambition, and the fluorescent lights buzz like a headache I can't shake. My laptop stickers seem to mock me now, their colors dull under the weight of her tasks. One afternoon, she calls an impromptu meeting. The team gathers in the same glass room where she humiliated me before, and I feel the familiar knot in my stomach. Vanessa stands at the head, her platinum hair gleaming, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Emma," she says, her eyes locking onto mine, "I've decided you're off the tech trend project. It's clear you lack the competence for it." Her words are a blade, and I feel them slice through me. The team exchanges glances, some pitying, some smug. I want to scream, to tell her I'm worth more than her petty games, but I clench my fists under the table, my nails digging into my palms. "Understood," I say, my voice steady despite the storm inside. She thinks she's won. I can see it in the tilt of her head, the way her lips curve just shy of a smirk. But what she doesn't know is that every jab she throws is pushing me harder towards Spark Vibe. That night, back at Pike Place, I'm hunched over my laptop, the cafe's warmth wrapping around me like armor. The rain patters outside, a steady drumbeat to my resolve. I'm emailing a mentor I met online, a former marketer who's offered to review my work. I'm sketching a logo, a flame, simple but fierce, just like me. My latte's gone cold again, but I don't care. Each click, each note, is a defiance of Vanessa's verdict. I pause to rub my eyes, the glow of the screen blurring my vision. My reflection in the cafe window catches me off guard. Tired but determined, a woman who's done playing small. I think back to the meeting, to Vanessa's smug announcement. Lack the competence. The words burn, but they don't break me. They remind me why I'm here, why I'm fighting. I'm not just building a company, I'm building a version of myself Vanessa can't touch. Hey, before I go on, I need to say something. Telling this story, pouring my heart into it, took hours of work, and it means the world to see you here. If you're feeling Emma's fire, hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support stories like this. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. The air in my apartment had started to smell like victory. Ink, coffee, and the faint lavender of my candles, all mingling with the pulse of possibility. Spark Vibe wasn't just a dream anymore. It was a weapon, forged in the late nights and quiet rebellions of the past months. Vanessa thought she'd buried me with her tasks and taunts, but she'd only given me the tools to rise. Now I was ready to face her on the biggest stage of all, and she didn't even know it was coming. Picture the Tech Summit conference in Seattle, a sprawling convention center alive with the hum of innovation. The air is sharp with the scent of new electronics and expensive cologne, and the halls are a blur of sleek suits and glowing screens. It's a place where ideas are born or broken, and I'm here, an underdog with everything to prove. I've spent weeks preparing, my fingers raw from typing, my eyes burning from endless revisions. Spark Vibe's campaign is ready. A reimagined version of the idea Vanessa called childish, now polished to a razor's edge. I've even dared to email Tech Trend's lead executive, a woman named Clara, pitching a private meeting. To my shock, she agreed to watch my presentation. The night before my pitch, I stand in my apartment, staring at the white suit hanging on my closet door. It's sleek, pristine, a stark contrast to the navy blazer I've worn like armor at Apex. I run my fingers over the fabric, its cool smoothness calming the storm in my chest. My reflection in the mirror shows a woman I barely recognize. Tired, yes, but fierce, with eyes that burn like the flame in Spark Vibe's logo. I think back to Vanessa's voice. "You lack the competence," and my jaw tightens. Tomorrow, I'll show her competence. Tomorrow, I'll show them all. The Tech Summit stage is a beast of light and sound, its spotlights cutting through the dim auditorium like blades. The crowd is a sea of faces, their murmurs a low roar that vibrates in my bones. I'm backstage, my white suit catching the glow of a nearby monitor, my heart pounding so hard I can taste it. My hands tremble as I clutch my notes, but I force myself to breathe, the air cool and metallic with the tang of stage equipment. Vanessa is out there in the front row, her platinum hair unmistakable. She's here to pitch Apex's campaign, confident that Tech Trend is hers. She hasn't seen me yet, and that's exactly how I want it. The MC calls my name, and I step onto the stage, the lights blinding, the crowd's hum fading to a hush. My heels click against the polished floor, each step a declaration. I adjust the microphone, my voice steady despite the fire in my veins. "Good morning," I begin, my words echoing through the hall. "I'm Emma Larson, founder of Spark Vibe, and today I'm here to show you the future of marketing." I launch into my pitch, my slides flashing behind me, vivid visuals of augmented reality, storytelling woven into every frame. It's the campaign I built from the ashes of Vanessa's rejection, now alive and undeniable. The crowd leans forward, their eyes locked on me. I can feel their energy, a current that lifts me higher. I describe how Spark Vibe's app lets users interact with brands in real time, their faces lighting up as I demo a virtual storefront. My voice grows stronger, my gestures more confident, and for the first time, I feel like I belong here. I steal a glance at Vanessa, and her face is a mask of shock, her lips parted, her eyes narrowing as she realizes who I am. I don't look away. I let her see me, really see me, for the first time. When I finish, the auditorium erupts in applause, a wave of sound that crashes over me. I stand there, my chest heaving, my skin tingling under the heat of the lights. Clara, the Tech Trend executive, rises from her seat, her expression unreadable. She steps to the microphone and the room falls silent. "That was exceptional," she says, her voice clear and firm. "Tech Trend is proud to announce that we're choosing Spark Vibe for our next campaign. Their vision is exactly what we need." The crowd roars again, but I barely hear it. My eyes are on Vanessa, who's frozen in her seat, her hands clenched in her lap. She tries to stand, to say something, but Clara waves her off, and the dismissal is a knife. I step forward, my heart pounding with a mix of triumph and defiance. "Before I go," I say, my voice carrying over the applause, "I want to thank Vanessa Holt from Apex Innovations. Your feedback inspired me to push harder, to be better." The words are polite, but they're a blade, and I see them hit. Vanessa's face twists, her smile forced, and the crowd murmurs, sensing the undercurrent. I don't need to say more. I've said enough. The stage lights burn brighter, and for a moment I feel like I'm glowing, like the flame in my logo has consumed every doubt Vanessa ever planted. The applause from Tech Summit still echoed in my ears days later, a melody of triumph that drowned out the ghosts of Vanessa's words. I'd stood on that stage, my white suit glowing under the spotlights, and claimed something she could never take away: my worth. Spark Vibe wasn't just a company anymore. It was proof that I was enough, more than enough. But victory, I learned, isn't just about the moment you win. It's about what you do with it, and I was only getting started. Picture my new office, a sleek space on the top floor of a Seattle high-rise, its glass walls framing the city's skyline like a painting. The air smells faintly of fresh paint and the sharp, clean scent of new furniture. My desk is a slab of polished wood, cluttered with sketches and a single coffee mug, its handle chipped from late-night brainstorming. I'm standing on the balcony, the wind tugging at my loose sweater, carrying the briny tang of Puget Sound and the distant hum of the city below. The sun is setting, painting the sky in hues of gold and pink, and its warmth kisses my skin, a quiet celebration of everything I've built. That morning, I'd signed the $1 million contract with Tech Trend, my pen gliding across the paper with a certainty I hadn't felt in years. The ink was still wet when Clara, their executive, shook my hand, her grip firm and her smile genuine. "You've got something special, Emma," she'd said, her voice steady, no trace of the condescension I'd grown used to at Apex. "Spark Vibe is going places." I'd nodded, my throat tight with pride, but inside, I was soaring. The contract wasn't just money, it was validation, a door to a future I'd dared to dream. Vanessa, predictably, didn't take it well. A few days after Tech Summit, I found an email from her in my inbox, its subject line a curt "Let's talk." She wanted to meet, to discuss opportunities, as if I'd forgotten the months of her scorn. I read her words, polished, professional but laced with desperation, and felt a flicker of satisfaction. I pictured her in her Apex office, her platinum hair less perfect now, her red lipstick a little smudged as she typed. "You lack the competence," she'd said, and I'd carried that wound for too long. Now, I was free of it. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. My silence was answer enough. Standing on that balcony, I let my fingers trace the cool metal railing, grounding myself in the moment. The city stretched out before me, its lights twinkling like stars against the dusk. I thought back to the rain-soaked nights in my apartment, the endless hours at Pike Place, the weight of Vanessa's doubt pressing down on me. Each moment had been a step, each doubt a spark, leading me here. I wasn't the girl who blushed in that glass meeting room anymore. I was Emma Larson, founder of Spark Vibe, and I'd built something undeniable. But even as I stood there, the wind whispering promises of new beginnings, I knew this wasn't the end. Spark Vibe was growing, and with growth came challenges, new clients, bigger risks, maybe even new enemies. Vanessa's email was a reminder that the world doesn't let you rest when you rise. What would she do next? Would she try to undermine me, to claw back what she'd lost? I didn't know, but I wasn't afraid. The fire she'd ignited in me was still burning, and I was ready for whatever came,